It's a great day here at KEKFILA's YouTube channel. I am the KEKFILA, and if you are here to watch a game, you can skip to that portion of the video you'll see in the little description here, the timestamp. But however, I am playing Queen today. I did not put Blue Doflamingo down, and I'm still working on that deck. It's still kind of now a pet project. I kind of play a little bit more things, more fun, more meta for me in set 4 and so on. It's just really good, and I wanted to go over all the games that I have actually been playing from my last couple tournaments, especially this last one where I actually played Queen. So I'll go over that gameplay, my upsides, my downsides, my mistakes, especially my mistakes, so you know what not to do. That's probably a big thing. I did want to go over a little bit of what I've been up to. And basically, I have decided to go part-time at my real job. Hooray! And with that, I'm working with Will to Win Gaming, and I make content with them on their Patreon, on their YouTube channel. And I still want to grow this channel, but I do a lot of stuff in that Discord and Patreon. So if you're trying to get in contact with me, definitely message me on Discord. Head over to that Discord. We're trying to make the Will to Win community, and it's really busting up quite well right now, especially with what we got going on. If you're someone trying to learn more about One Piece card game and get better at it, please do join that community. And make sure if you haven't, like and subscribe to my videos, and let me know in the comments if you're enjoying the Queen gameplay and what you want to see more of. Some things about Queen I actually want to go over. And the main thing is you probably should know all these skills beforehand, but I do want to pre-emphasize a lot of the learning with this deck for me. And I first want to go over Queen's skill. And it's a pretty simple one. If you have 1 dot on your leader, 1 attacking, if you have 4 less cards in your hand and life combined, you get to draw a card. If you have an 8 cost or more on the field, you get to get a life instead. Pretty good. And I'll say a few tips with these. Sometimes you may need to activate triggers from your life that have no effect, like a 3000 Worlds or a Red Rock. Even if it doesn't hit anything, you can still activate that trigger and then choose to hit nothing, so it goes to your trash. Sometimes you need to get cards out of your hand, and that is a way to do so. And I don't think Sanji can do that, the blocker, but hopefully that isn't an issue, because if you hit the Sanji blocker, you just discard anyway. And another thing is as well, is there's going to be times where you want to take damage. And when you take that damage, you also will guard with a card in your hand. So they swing at you for, let's say, 7k. You can give them a 1k counter and then take that 1 damage as well on top of that, because you didn't have enough counter, just so you can go down in cards in hand. And that really gives you insane value for your life here. And that's the big thing to remember. There's a lot of weird math where I'm like thinking 1 + 1 + 2 + 1. Am I good here? Am I not good there? So there is quite a bit of math with that. And I think a big thing here is kind of knowing your defenses and what cards you have in your hand, if you need to be risky with your triggers or actually calculated, especially if you're trying to go aggressive. So, and without further ado, let's get into the goo. And now we're back with the video. I am playing Queen this day. This was October 15th. This is round 1 of 9. I'm playing against Whitebeard round 1. It's actually a good matchup for me. If I go second, if I go first, kind of mixed. He wins the die roll. He goes second. And I'm forced to go first. We both choose to mulligan. How do we both choose? We both must have had pretty bad hands to start with. But I'll go over the game. Everything that kind of went right went wrong. I do a little bit of cringy dice rolling here. I'm going to skip through that. Let's just get the game started. And he goes for, actually, I may have won the die roll. Okay, never mind. I won the die roll. I went second. Okay, we're good. Maybe he chose to go first. I'm pretty sure that. So we both don't do anything on our first turns. And he swings 9 on his second turn, which I just take. I'm not giving him 2/2Ks. I swing 6 at him. And then I make a mistake here. I play a Brûlée. This is the mistake I wanted to really come over. And the mistake is I should have played a Sanji from hand. I had a Sanji. I'm playing into his 5 Dawn turn. When I already attached the 1 Dawn to my queen, I said, oh, I already made the mistake. I felt pretty dumb. But he just kind of punished me right away for that and got that out. And I'll tell you what, I ended up seeing 2 3,000 worlds right away. I see a third one pretty quick. So I swing 7 at his leader. He actually counters out of it. Now, I want to say this. If you're playing Whitebeard against anything, just take the damage. Don't give me a 2k. There is no point in giving me the 2k. And he does for some reason, which I think it's good to always swing 6 and 7s to kind of test your opponent if you're playing against Whitebeard. They may have different intentions in mind if they're playing 9beard, so it's still okay to swing into that. But generally, they should just take it. But I use a 3,000 worlds immediately on that Marco. Marco's now gone. I need to slow down his tempo here. I'm afraid of a Thatch. A Thatch will make it so I can't remove it unless I use a Red Rock. He first swings for 7 at me, and then it looks like I didn't have too much of a choice. I asked, do you have 6 Dawn open? Okay, well, I'll give you okay. I used Gummery to ditch a 3,000 worlds. I had too many of those. He swings 7 again with the Luffy, a Rush Luffy, and you already know I have a 3,000 worlds in this video because I just 3,000 worlds this guy out of the world. So I 3,000 worlds that first, and then I play the Sanji on my 8 Dawn turn. I had no way to swing at him, so I didn't try to get a card out of him. So with that, my opponent then goes to his 9 Dawn turn. He swings 7 at me again, and it looks like I take it. I'm fine going down. I actually get a lucky blocker here. The blocker Boa Hancock. My hand's very limited, so 2k, I mean, I can't use 2k, 1k. I kind of want to keep the blocker for reasons, and I need to go down to 1 life at some point anyway. So with that, Brule coming down, he has the Marco, which is fine. Again, it probably slows him down overall. And then he plays the blocker here. And this is actually pretty good. There's 2 life set up here. I can still get a life from my Yamato and KO the Fossa. I pay 6 to KO the Fossa, and I still get a life. And then I attach 1 to my leader. I had nothing to do. Swing 6 to him. See if he has a 9-drop, he might guard it. But he doesn't guard it because he doesn't have a 9-drop, so we're fine. So he takes that. I have 4 cards in hand, 2 cards in life. And again, you have to know what Queen Skill does. Queen Skill is if you have, 2 cards in hand, 2 cards in life, bada bing, bada boom, you gain a card in your hand or a card in your life, depending if you have an 8-drop or not. So so with that, he's counting, how many 3,000 worlds do you have? And I'm like, I have 3 in my drop zone. I already drew a 4th one. I drew the 4th one when I played the Yamato. So he first swings 6 at me, which I actually give him a 2k counter with a Sasaki, and then he thinks about this over again. He swings 7. I probably take this one. I think I have another Yamato, and I'm just debating on his rush cards here. And I don't want to be put down to 0 health here. It's not really that great. And I'm doing the math. Do I need to counter out and take the damage? I think this one out. I got to tell you, there is a secret to that. There is a secret. And so I counter out and take the damage. All right. I counter out and take the damage. I see a red rock here. I want to use it to get rid of the card in my hand so I can get 2 life. And I should have just used it and used it on nothing. That's what I wanted to do. But I did the math and I said, it looks like I'm good. But I messed up that math twice. So actually maybe I was fine here. So it looks like he gives me 2 4-drops and he has 1 Dawn left over, and 1 being a blocker Marco, so I can't just go big. So I first go 3,000 worlds. He's like, you saw all 4 3,000 worlds? Yeah, I did. Yeah, my chat was kind of fun with that one too. So I then thought of my next move here. I am going to gain a life with my leader. And so I just swing 6 at his leader. And I get a life. And then gives me a Thatch. I then think here for a while. I have another Marco in my hand. Not Marco, Sanji. I'm like, do I need the Sanji in order to live? And I had to just do some math. Quick math is here. is that what attacks can he swing if he has a Luffy? He swings 6, so he has 10 Dawn. He plays 5 for Luffy. That means 5 Dawn left over to split between 4 characters. Okay, so 5 Dawn between 4 characters means you could add 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 1 Dawn left over. Okay, and they're all 6s. So it's saying 7, 7, 7, 8. That is exactly what that is. I just need to be able to counter out of one of the 7s, essentially, even with this blocker, and I do have that. And this is like if I brick, this is what I'm afraid of. So I overthink, count this out first, and then I decide, oh, I'm just going to swing a total of 14 at his leader. I'm going to get cards out of his hand. It's fine, right? I'm doing actual math for this. And my opponent then goes through this. Pretty simple. He goes up to 9, 11, 13, 15. So he counters out of that pretty simply. And then I end my turn. He goes to his turn, which, again, I pretty much called him exactly what he would do. And I had enough counter to deal with that. He can't bust through 2 health and a blocker. And unless I make a mistake early and he uses the Luffy later. That's the thing, right? Make that unblockable. So he first swings with a 7. And I think about this one just for a moment. Like, I can go out of this. I really double think. Is he swinging with 7 again somewhere? And yeah, he would be. He would still be swinging with 7 somewhere. Right? And he swings again 7. So I take the first one, no trigger. Take the second one, and I get a 2k and a 1k straight for him. Okay? I have 2 cards in hand. And he realizes, he had the counter for it, so he can't deal 2 damage to me unless I mistakenly don't block this next one. So he swings 7 at me. I'm gonna block that one because he has an unblockable Luffy coming, and I don't want to deal with that. And then he plays the unblockable Luffy. He pays 5. He ends up just throwing 6 at me, which I take because I have nothing in hand. And then he passes turn, which I then just proceed to win with a 6k and a 18k leader, which is pretty solid, and I got the win. Keynotes I'll take into the beginning of the game, actually, about Queen. I'll actually give some Queen tips, but thank you, everybody, for watching this video. I'll probably have another one up tomorrow about my Game 2 Electronic Boogaloo, and feel free to, again, make sure you like and subscribe, and let me know if you have anything you want to see, anything you want me to answer about playing Queen or any matchups. I'd be more than happy to. See you in the next one. Ciao.